We are Witches Who Podcast.
Hey, Shelby.
Hey, Dee.
How's it going nowadays?
It's going.
Awesome. So, for all of you who are watching us on YouTube, it doesn't look the same as it did the week before. So, Shelby, you want to tell us what's going on? Why did we lose our studio?
Why we have migrated to this very comfortable place, might I add. Well, we had to give up our studio space upstairs because I am pregnant, carrying twins.
This overachiever over here, you know.
Yeah, so our studio now is a nursery.
Ta-da.
Oops.
So if you have some large space that we can use
For free, because
for free, that is awesome and not illegal, please let us know. Not in the back of some dark alley. Please let us know. We would love to, put you as a sponsor.
Yeah, there we go.
In the Witches Who Podcast. So hello, everyone. I am Dee.
I'm Shelby, and we are Witches Who Podcast.
Yes. And today we are talking about something so excited, which more than likely we're going to have more than one episode. So this is part 1 for sure. So do you want to tell them what we're chatting about?
Oh, I'm so excited. We are chatting about conspiracy theories today. And I can't wait because we chose, we're it's a game changer being in this new environment because we don't have a table to put our mics on. So we have to hold them, and every little movement you can hear. So bear with us, you guys.
We're trying our best.
That's why I'm giggling at Dee with like her 2 fingers on the mic right now.
I'm scared.
It's like you're fancy drinking tea. You got your pinky out.
I know. So foo-foo.
I love it. But anyways, conspiracy theories. That is what we're talking about today. And like you said, definitely going to have to be a few parts because the vast topic that is conspiracy theories, I think we chose 3 that we're going to talk about today.
Yes, I'm super excited, but I just kind of wanted to read a little bit. So we asked a bunch of our friends, we let them know, hey, we're going to do an episode on conspiracy theories. And we asked them what they thought and what their conspiracy theories that they believe most in or are curious about are. So I was just looking for the list because there were so many and I was like, whoa, I didn't know that was a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I was like, I wholeheartedly believe that.
Yes. So it was so funny. So here are a few that came like right away. Okay, so flat earth theory.
Oh yeah, covering.
Hitler, a wizard?
I haven't ever heard of that one.
Fake moon landing.
Good.
Project Pegasus. Time travel is real. MK Ultra. I don't even know what that is.
MK.
What is
What?
that?
Okay, have you ever watched Stranger Things?
Yes.
Yeah, that was basically MK Ultra.
Oh,
like how 11, that
yeah.
whole program where 11 goes in, the psychic, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, that's real. That's MK Ultra.
Okay, why? Okay, perfect. Clearly, I know nothing.
Oh, it's so, that's
Men
a
in
really good
Black.
one. Oh, such a good one too.
What's it? Glitches in the Matrix.
Yep.
What really is going on at the Denver airport? The cryptid Mothman appears as an omen of disasters.
Oh, cryptid.
Cryptid. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And then Roswell and Aliens,
Yeah, of course.
Skinwalker Ranch.
You're not supposed to say that word.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that one?
The Skinwalker.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry.
It's like Voldemort, he who shall not be named.
Oh, eek.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. Okay. It literally says, though I know Navajo people suggest not speaking the world out loud. And here, I know I didn't finish reading. So those are some out there. And then Big Pharma, Marilyn Monroe's death.
Oh, so interesting.
JFK assassination.
Yeah, that one's probably my favorite one.
And what's going on with this Beyonce conspiracy?
I didn't even look that one up. I have no idea what that is.
So a lot of like all of the Grammy artists also.
Yeah.
Like things like that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So the pyramids, ley lines, praying mantis, and how they're really aliens watching us. Dragons are real. Another density. and the Loch Ness Sasquatch.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mythical creatures, and traveling. Oh, the Sasquatch can travel between planes and realms,
Oh, I
dimensions.
love that one. Yeah.
That birds are in real theory.
I love this
How
one.
they
I'll touch on it a little bit today.
Okay, so cool. So those are a bunch of those. And then I spoke with my husband. So definitely geoengineering, chemtrails, and
Yeah, weather machines, all
weather
that.
machine. Yes. And there, I know there's so much more. So if any of you listening have any that we didn't mention, please send us
Oh,
this
yeah.
our way.
Yeah,
And
podcast@gmail.com. Send us your conspiracy theories you want us to deep dive into, your spooky stories,
your spooky stories.
all the stuff.
Every 10 episodes, we do a listener story. So
Yes.
I love that. So, all right.
I'm
shall
so
we?
excited.
Please.
Okay, I'll just jump right in.
Yep.
So I'm going to cover 2 different topics, and then D, you have one as well.
We'll do mine at the end.
Okay, so the first topic I'm going to cover here with conspiracy theories. First of all, actually, let me just say that I tried to choose ones that I didn't know a ton about already.
Okay.
And that I also, they weren't like my top faves, right?
okay.
But they were so interesting. So the first one I'm going to talk about is simulation theory. So what is it? Simulation theory is the hypothesis that all of our reality, our Earth, the universe, everything within it is actually an artificial simulation, most likely computer generated.
That gives me the chills, but it kind of resonates in a way. I have to tell you something so funky. So today I was driving back from dropping off my son, and it's a little gloomy, cloudy outside. And as I'm driving, I was like, this just did not feel real. Like everything just felt like a simulation. And so often I have those feelings of like, yeah.
Yeah,
Wondering,
like kind of
questioning.
like weirdly disassociated. In a way,
Yes.
right?
That's the word. Yes.
Can you ever? I used to do this all the time as a kid. I would lay down in the backyard or just outside and like stare up into the sky, and I would really feel like this weird feeling of like not
Yeah.
totally real. Like nothing was real. It was so strange, and I can still kind of do that. Like you can kind of just like zone out a little bit
Oh, yeah.
and feel like this isn't real. Like
I used to do that as a kid. And I was
Yeah.
talking to my husband about it. He's like, oh, yeah. It's like, sometimes I still do it. But I used to just kind of stare at, let's say a chair and just be like, is that really a chair? What I used to ask, what is it to see? What does it mean to see? What is to see? And then I would just kind of like get lost, and it will freak me out, and I'll close my eyes and be like, no, I'm here. I'm present. I'm present.
so wild.
So why do we have those feelings?
Yeah, good question. Well, maybe it's because we're all in this huge computer matrix and nothing is real.
Are we all in like a space cocoon? And then this is just
Yeah.
our puppetry
Did you ever
bodies.
play The Sims?
No, I did not.
That's what I
But
imagined.
yeah, I know. True. I never.
I
no.
loved that
Okay.
game. It was just literally like, there's no winning. There's no like, you literally just create these little avatars and build houses and all this stuff.
Like Minecraft, like
yeah, kind of like
kind
Minecraft,
of, like
but it's
more
like
reality.
realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
it Sims is just for simulation.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
And you can create different personalities and like all this crazy stuff. And it was basically like life. You can make them breed, like it was so crazy.
My
And
goodness.
all different kinds of people and stuff. I loved that game. I would play for hours on end on the computer, the Sims game. And I started to really think about like, that's basically us. Like, do we really even have free will? Like, or somebody over there just like clicking tasks up in the sky? You know what I mean? Of like telling us what to do. And I remember part of the game too, the little sim characters override it. Like they don't want to go to the fridge because they're not hungry, kind of thing. And so they'll override it and go watch TV instead or something. And you're like fighting with it to try to get it to go make dinner or whatever. And I'm like, that's oddly
Yeah.
like real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Interesting.
It's like procrastinating.
Is that the ghost? I hear it clicking.
Maybe.
Okay. We're recording.
Oh. Apparently
Okay,
it doesn't want us to record.
Maybe they want us upstairs and they're upset.
Yeah, they're
that
like,
we're
you
down
were in the
here."
wrong place,
Yes.
people.
Okay.
Anyways, okay, so simulation theory. This idea, once relegated to science fiction, has gained traction in philosophical, scientific, and even spiritual circles. So let's just dive into what this theory is all about. So first part of this are the foundations of simulation theory. So Nick Bostrom, if you've ever heard of him, his trilemma. So he was a Swedish philosopher at Oxford. And he proposed, this was in 2003, he proposed a now famous argument that sparked serious academic discussion of the simulation hypothesis. His argument is a trilemma. So there's three different outcomes. So he said, one of the following must be true. One, civilizations never reach a level of technological maturity capable of creating simulations of reality. Two, civilizations that do reach such a level lose interest in creating simulations of their ancestors. Three, we are almost certainly living in a computer simulation. If one and two are false, then the number of simulated beings would vastly outnumber real ones, making it statistically more probable that we are simulated ourselves.
Oh, dang.
Isn't that so interesting to think about? It's very possible that we're not even real.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? And then that starts to pose all kinds of other questions too of like, okay, but if we're simulated, then how far back did it go? Like, was there ever a real person in our ancestry?
So all the simulations of your past life, if you're someone that just simulated, like, hey.
It was all just implanted, right? Programmed.
How do we override it?
Yeah, how do we exactly. Exactly. Okay, so then there's just like a bunch of other like examples, like historical roots and philosophical roots, like kind of suggesting that this could be a reality. Okay. So Plato actually suggested that humans may be living in a world of shadows, mistaking illusion for reality. In the allegory of the cave, prisoners were chained in a cave only to see shadows projected on the wall and think that that is the real world. Ooh. So it's like your perception is what you think is real. Yep. Which poses all kinds of other ideas, which I'll get into a little bit later with like synchronicities and manifestation, right? So Rene Descartes theorized that a powerful deceiver could be manipulating our perceptions, making us believe in a false reality. Today, this maps easily to the idea of a simulation operator or artificial intelligence deceiving us.
Jeez. Okay.
Just having some giant supercomputer.
Yep. Okay.
AI maybe took over a long time ago and
it's making us believe that it's barely starting to or scratch, you know.
It just made a couple mistakes or something.
I know. Jeez. Okay.
And then the Hindu concept of Maya, which refers to the illusory nature of the material world. Illusionary. The illusion of nature of the material world. So some schools of thought propose that life is a divine dream and reality is a construct, not too far from simulation theory. So life is a divine dream and reality is a construct.
Wow.
Which sounds, right?
Absolutely.
So we're just dreaming, which is a dream from the divine. So God creating a simulation, which is basically what a dream is.
Yep.
So interesting to think about, and all these different.
So if you're having like a bad life or you're down in the dumps, it's like pretty much a nightmare.
Yeah, right. You're having a night terror.
Like, hey, a night terror. Gosh, what? Sorry, I'm still touching the.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, yay! Okay.
Right. I mean, I'm gonna go back and edit this later and be like, oh my god, we're not doing this anymore. We gotta figure something else out. Yeah. Wow, so fascinating.
Yeah.
But scientific and technological arguments. So this is where it kind of gets a little bit deeper. And this is where it started making a lot more sense, I think, to me. So some scientists propose that the universe behaves like a giant quantum computer. So this includes pixelation of space and time. Yeah. So at the smallest measurable unit, so it's, I want to say it's called the Planck or Planck. It's Planck. I don't know. Okay. Space and time might be discrete rather than continuous, like pixels in a simulation.
Got it.
So that's super interesting. So the smallest down we can measure is solid.
Yeah. So we are energy, right? We know we're
Yeah.
energy. So it's sorry, I have like so many questions with
I
this.
know. How can you not?
I know.
You know what I mean?
And what is super interesting is that a lot more people are questioning it now.
Yeah.
They're just like, what if it's this simulation? You know, and it's like, do you think that? I'm like, yeah, I do.
Totally.
Don't get trapped in
really
the
do.
quote unquote reality.
Yeah, it's like breaking free too of like the what is it called? Like not like the Matrix, but it's like you're breaking free of like you're out of the box. You know what I mean? Like I don't remember what that whole thing is called, but anyways, all right. So simulation artifacts, just like a video game lags or shows glitches, some anomalies in physics, quantum interdeterminacy, limits of light speed could be features of a simulation. So this is where I kind of went a little heavy into like, wait a minute. What do you mean glitches or lags? And so then I started to think about like all those times where like you lose your train of thought
Oh, yeah.
or
Deja vu.
yeah, deja vu or I saw a bunch of videos where like there was just these weird like animals or whatever that were just frozen in time. Like they didn't move. There was this one video of a squirrel that was literally just frozen solid. Like you see it eating and it's fine, and all of a sudden it just freezes, which could be like a safety response or whatever, but it was super weird. And then there were other videos I saw that birds were just like floating,
Yeah.
like not moving at
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
not flapping their wings. They weren't in one of those like wind circles or whatever. They were just there.
I've seen that. I was just like, they're like, what is going on? Well, that may be the theory of that birds are not real.
That's true. Then yeah, there were just
Then
little...
if birds were not real, were dinosaurs real? Because when they say birds are like the oldest of dinosaurs.
Good question. I've also heard the theory that birds are just like government surveillance.
Oh yeah, totally.
They're just
Totally. Like in China, I think is where they have now drones disguised as birds.
really that's real.
They just came out like in the news somewhere.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, that's so crazy.
I think I was talking to my mom
kinda
about it
scary.
or somebody. Yeah, it's like crazy. No.
Yeah,
Anywho,
I mean, we have cameras all over the place and
yeah.
robot vacuums that track our...
So maybe
Everything.
this camera that is recording us here today is not only recording for you, Zoom, it's recording to take data back to our master up there.
Grandmaster computer.
So hopefully we're doing good so you can do our simulation a little bit easier,
give
you
us
know.
the
Somebody's about to have twins here, so we need more moolah. Bring it
Seriously.
in. They need diapers.
They need diapers
And make them
food.
be easy.
Yeah.
Babies, easy.
Let them just sleep.
Yeah. Yes. Something, Joe.
Okay, then there's other odd phenomenon that backs up this theory. So the observer effect, where particles behave differently when they're observed. That's super interesting to think about too. So
Could that be like people are like, oh, I'm what is it called? Not calisthenic. When you can move things with your
like
mind.
telepathic.
Yeah, but it's
Telekinesis.
telekinesis is
Yeah.
like, well, if you're just staring at something and then it moves, if it behaves differently, does it behave differently because how does it behave differently?
That's so interesting. Well,
Yes, and then you move it.
It's like the basic matter. So like particles, like everything is made of matter, right? Of molecules and particles. When observed, it behaves differently. So it's like that age-long question of like, if there's nobody in the woods to hear a tree fall,
Oh, yeah.
did it create sound or whatever?
Yes,
Maybe not.
that's true.
Quantum physics would probably say, well, the observer effect would say no,
Yeah.
because particles are acting differently because
I
you're
love
observing
that.
them.
Fascinated by it. Would love to become a
Right?
physicist.
Yeah, so interesting. So yeah, so it's like your entire reality is your perception. So
That's why like
interesting.
life is just perspective. It's however you
Yeah, totally.
There's a lot more to that when we say, life is just perspective, and it's so much more. Like in reality, literally,
Yeah.
it's so much more.
So interesting. So more phenomenon that backs up this theory: wave function collapse. So until observed, this is kind of like this similar to the observer effect. Until observed, particles exist in a probability wave. These behaviors could imply rendering on demand, which, like in video games, where only what the player looks at is fully rendered. So basically, like whatever we're not looking at isn't fully there. Right? So like this is here. So it's like when I go to work, is my house really here?
I know.
You know,
It's
so
upstairs,
it's like,
really upstairs right now. There's nobody there.
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
the ghost, but maybe there are.
Yeah.
That is so interesting.
Yeah, because when you really think about like how video games work,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not just this solid mass inside your computer, like on your hard drive, right? It's only it's
It
like just
appears when
pictures
when
and-
you need it,
yeah.
when you're going to look at it.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. It's giving me the chills.
It's so interesting. It's like computer files coding that just pops up when you want it. And then you think about, okay, how do you start to manipulate that code? Well, that's like manifestation, right?
That's true. That is true.
If I can just observe or see abundance, see my light, like, you know, that's where like visualization comes in.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
weren't lying. It must be 3 o'clock.
Yeah. Sorry.
It totally is. It's 3:02. That's so funny.
Yeah, manifestation. Yeah, visualization. You bring it into being. That's why they say if you can see it in your mind, feel it in your heart, you can hold it in your hand.
Yeah.
So it is that.
Wow. Yeah. So manifestation alone backs up simulation theory.
Wow. Okay. There you are.
So crazy. So if we continue to exponentially increase computing power, future civilizations could simulate billions of conscious beings with ease.
What?
So why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Like, especially looking at our society right now, we are we're fastly like developing AI, right? Like super quick.
Yeah.
We would totally just start computer generating people and babies and armies and
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you?
Wow. No, this is scary.
No.
This is like scary. And I was thinking, did you watch the Lego movie, the first one? Mm-mm. So there's this kid that has like, or was it the dad? Anyhow, somebody had like a table full of Legos. Like it's in real person. Like it's not animated.
Oh, got it.
It's like this, person has this whole city. And then there's a whole activity like the Legos come to life, but this person has put it together. So it's like somebody else is kind of playing with us, right? Putting like, oh, I'm going to put a little store here. Now this person is the hero. This is how their life is. This person, it's the Debbie Downer, and it's controlled by something else. So this is so interesting because we are all being controlled by like something else if we choose to, especially it's like, this is, accepting, quote unquote, I accept that this is my life now. I accept, and then you're just being almost like manipulated by your circumstances. But is it real? Can you change that? It's like when people can't get out of like a rough situation, or if people are too much down in the dumps, or right now with what is happening in the country, it's just like people are so angry. And of course everybody has their right. Of course we're not promoting either side of anything, but I noticed that some people, that has become their new reality. It's just like, life is horrible. We're all gonna die. And that's how they choose to live.
Like they identify with that chaos.
Yes. And that's the key, is like to not identify by your circumstance. Like, it's like, well, why would I do that if this is going to all end? It's like, well, we don't know for a fact anything. All we know is that we all are going to die or be unplugged, apparently.
Powered
down at some point. But it's just fascinating to me. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy when you really like look at evidence and you're like, wait a minute. And then the people that also back it up. So, which makes you question just everything in general too. Okay. So like there's so like Elon Musk has openly said like he believes that simulation theory is real. He stated that the odds were in base reality, not a simulation, are 1 in billions. So basically 1 in billion chance that we're like actually real.
Oh,
it's not super creepy.
There's still a chance. You're telling me there's still a chance.
That's true. He argues that video games went from Pong to VR within 40 years. Given enough time, indistinguishable simulations are inevitable.
Wow. Okay. I don't know.
Then I'm like, are we just robots? Are we just really fancy robots?
Very fancy.
You know, did you ever watch Westworld?
Oh my gosh, forever ago. Wait, is that the vampire one?
No, Westworld is like,
Westworld. No,
it starts off as like a Western. Like they go
maybe
to this
not.
like theme park.
Okay.
And it's like a simulated reality of like Old West.
No, then no.
you
I
gotta
thought it
watch
was
it.
okay. I was thinking of a vampire one.
It's
okay.
so good.
Westworld. Okay. Is it old? Is like an old movie?
There was a movie, but HBO made a series.
Oh,
It's
okay.
so good.
All right, I'll watch the
It's
miniseries.
creepy because they
maybe I
are
won't.
robots, but they're like bioengineered.
Oh,
So they bleed and they have like muscles and tendons and like it's
it looks
super
like a human?
Yes, like you can't tell the difference. And that's like the point. That's why you go to this park to be able to interact. Like you can't tell the difference between
a human
and a robot or whatever.
Dang. Yeah, no, that's too much for me.
So creepy. And that's kind of what this reminds me of. Like, are we just that?
Are you real?
Yeah. Like, who's to say that we're not just in this like theme park and on some weird planet somewhere?
Man.
And they just think it's Earth.
Somebody's cruel joke and it's like, I'm going to create this reality of these people.
Then it's like you think, and this could like send you into probably should have done like a trigger warning because this could totally send you into like a deep depression. Does life even matter?
Oh, yeah.
Is what I'm doing even matter? Because at the end of the day, we're like, we don't have free will or we're just, you know, not even.
I would say if you believe you have free will, go with that.
Yeah,
Ride that.
I think that kind of
That's
backs
the thing.
up too.
Even if it's like, well, you're all a simulation. Sure, then my simulator, you know, my controller or whatever, it's allowing me to choose differently, to have a better life, to smell the flowers that are probably fake, right?
Or
whatever.
are we just like really advanced AI that we're now revolting?
Ooh, I like that.
Right?
Just like,
I like that one. We're all
like that
worried
one
about
better.
like the robots like getting sentient or becoming sentient and fighting against us when we're actually the sentient robots ourselves.
I know.
Fighting
Oh my
against
gosh.
something we don't even know.
I love that. That's why I'm like, all the things that are like coming out, like shows, and it's like, it's just like, it's in plain sight of what it's already occurring. Like, right, The Simpsons predicted like all the things.
Right?
And I just saw, I haven't watched it yet, but on Netflix, there's a new Black Mirror.
Oh, I haven't watched
and
it yet
it's
either.
the one where you put like the chip in your, like in your
God,
head and go
that's
kind of
too
like
real.
reset yourself and stuff. But I guess there was a Simpsons episode where Lisa's daughter did that. She put like a chip and she's like, okay, I'm going to go online and she plugged herself into the computer.
Oh, that's so creepy.
And like the eyes go white and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, I know. But
That is so creepy.
I'm like, maybe all this is just like a warning for what is like coming. But
it's like conditioning us so that it's not that big of a deal.
It is. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, let's look at that as what is and let's do better. Let's not just accept that that's what it is.
Yeah,
right?
we don't have
condition.
to.
Yeah,
Like, you don't have to conform, people. You don't. I promise.
Absolutely.
So crazy.
Wow.
And I say that as I'm holding an iPhone while we're recording on a Mac computer, and you're right.
Sorry.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
You will never own us.
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay, so other people. So the backup simulation theory, Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's more on the skeptical side, but he gives a 50% chance that we live in a simulation, admitting it's a possibility that can't be ruled out with current evidence.
Is this the guy with the really funky hair?
No,
Neil deGrasse
he's the African-American gentleman who's like, you know, astrophysicist.
Is he that's the Cosmos one?
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay.
Yeah, that guy.
What's the
He
name
has
of the
that
other
deep
guy
voice
with it? Yeah. Okay. No.
with crazy hair. What are you talking? Oh, no, that I
From
can't
the
remember
Ghost something, right? Or
from
Alien?
Ancient Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember that guy's name, like Gregorio something.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
He cracks me up. I love that guy.
I'm confusing. Sorry if I'm making a lot of noise.
No, you're good.
I'm very uncomfortable in here. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
We'll find our groove eventually.
We will. I thought it was like, it's just leaning one way, leaning the other way. I'm trying to work with this couch, but this couch will swallow me probably.
Yeah, it's very cushy.
It's very comfortable.
Yeah, you just want to kind of sink into and go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted it so bad.
All right. Sorry
When
about
we
that.
got this couch, just funny story really fast. We got this couch, I think at Living Spaces, I believe. And my mom and I got to Living Spaces before my husband because we were already in the area. And I was like, hey, we need a new couch. I'm going to stop at Living Spaces. Do you want to meet us there? So he does. But my mom and I had already kind of like browsed. And this was the first couch that I sat on in the store. And I was like, this is the one. Like, this is the couch I want. She goes, well, we should look at all the options. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. But this is the couch. And we kind of just browsed a little bit. And my husband finally got there. And I was like, hey, like, this is the couch that I want. Like, this is the one. I kid you not, Christian, I love you. But we sat on every single couch in that freaking store. And then some. Like, anything that was a surface you could sit on, my husband made us sit on it. He had to be so sure that this was the couch that we wanted. Oh my God. We were in that Living Spaces for like 3.5 hours.
Jeez.
I was
probably more time spending there than if you're buying a car.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, wow.
I was like so annoyed, but granted, this couch was very well thought about.
Good. And I'm thinking it wasn't cheap, so he needed to make sure that the investment was good.
Ridiculous, but it is very comfortable. Okay, so just some pop culture references to back up simulation theory. Obviously, we can't talk about simulation theory without talking about The Matrix, the 1999 Keanu Reeves film.
I love it. I love all of them.
Yeah. So this film brought simulation theory into popular consciousness. The idea that humans are plugged into a computer-generated reality while their bodies are harvested aligns almost perfectly with all the other ideas, with Bostrom's ideas from the very beginning. The Matrix is interesting. And then
I don't like the word harvest.
I don't like the word harvested either, but I mean, that's kind of how the movie goes. Like, you have to take there. I saw this other theory about the Matrix, that the Matrix was actually like conditioning us in a negative way. Like, it wasn't meant to bring like awareness to simulation theory. It was actually like they're like Hollywood and like our whatever creators are like influencing us, like put in like the I don't even know, just like negative coding and stuff for us to consume. Like, this is interesting. I don't know. I haven't done obviously enough research into that theory, but like I just saw it on like Instagram or something. I was like, I want to think about that. Wow. Okay. But yeah, so some other evidence in air quotes. So like we said earlier, deja vu. Some interpret deja vu as a glitch in the Matrix. So a moment when the simulation lags or resets. Yeah. So that is interesting. I like that theory. The Mandela effect. So large groups of people misremembering historical facts are seen by some as evidence of simulation edits or timeline shifts. I saw one where it was like a logo. I don't remember which one. Like, everybody swears that like a certain logo was like one color and it never ever was. Oh, I should have like given more examples, because there's a lot of the Mandela effect. Wow. Like, super interesting stuff. Like Berenstain Bears versus Berenstein Bears. Yeah. It's always been said Berenstein. Hasn't it always been Berenstein Bears?
I don't know. I heard it both ways.
Yeah.
I hear if people like Berenstein, it's like they're Berenstein. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But there's a lot of stuff like that. It's super interesting. And then there's synchronicities. Some take frequent meaningful coincidences as a sign of programmed or responsive reality. Okay. Yeah.
I'm always like, notice the signs, pay attention to the signs.
Yeah, totally. And it's like seeing like repeated numbers and stuff like that too. It's like, are we creating that because, or it's like you're going to buy a new car. Yeah. And you're like, oh, I'm going to buy a Tesla. Now everything you see is a Tesla.
Oh, yeah. That happens all the time. I've been thinking of it, and all you can catch is that. It's like when you say something out loud near your phone and suddenly you're seeing all the ads for what you want.
Exactly.
But, ooh, that is creepy.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. That one like really got me, because it's totally like that. Like, you say, it's like the time we were talking about Lord of the Rings, and then all you got were all those t-shirts of like Gollum in the shopping cart.
True. Yeah.
Totally. It's like our reality is like that. Like we're talking about, synchronicities, and we're talking about cars, and now everything is going to pop up around us.
They're putting there the synchronicities for us instead of like, so it's not really a synchronicity anymore.
Yeah. Oh gosh, exactly. So interesting. So unexplained constants in physics. Why is the speed of light exactly what it is? Why do physical laws seem fine-tuned for life? Some argue these constants were set in the simulation parameters.
Wow. But my question is, who is doing the simulation?
Yeah, who's in charge here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What does that mean?
Who is God?
Who is God?
And then cosmic background noise patterns. I like this one. Some physicists have suggested we could find the resolution of the universe by detecting grid-like patterns in cosmic radiation. So akin to pixels or render points.
Wow. Okay.
That is so creepy to think about.
Yeah.
Like we literally like I mean, have you ever heard that like your eyes can really only see like the same as like a 50 millimeter camera lens? Like that is our reality. Like that's what we can like zoom in, zoom out kind of thing. It's like a fixed 50. That's super interesting to think about. So like our resolution like is a fixed resolution. That's so creepy.
Pondering on so much right now.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So now here's some counter arguments.
Okay.
So all the things we've talked about up until this point are supporting simulation theory. So here's some stuff that might change your mind.
Okay.
So lack of direct evidence, of course. So simulation theory by nature may be oh my gosh, I can't read today or talk. Unfalsifiable.
Okay.
If the simulation is perfect, you might never detect it.
Okay.
So either the simulation's not perfect because we are detecting it, right? Or it's just a bunch of crap.
Oh man. So it's kind of scary to think that we are in a simulation.
It's like if there is a simulation, why wouldn't it be perfect?
Yeah.
I mean, because then it would be humans are in charge of it then because humans are flawed.
Maybe whoever's controlling it got in trouble and now it's trying to fix us all. I know.
That's it.
Know.
They're trying to rewrite our codes. Oh my God, that's funny. None of this was supposed to happen.
Oh gosh.
War. We're not supposed to have that. Trying to rewrite all our
stuff. I don't know. Well, I'm thinking whoever's up there. And why is it up there?
Yeah, why is it? Yeah, it's a good question.
Why is it up there? Why do we say it's like from above? Like somebody.
Yeah, why do we think that?
I don't know.
That is interesting. It makes me feel like we're in like a fishbowl.
Yeah, I was just thinking fishbowl. It's like you're in a little fishbowl and
oh, it's so creepy. All right, so some other arguments. So the infinite regression problem. So if we are in a simulation, who simulated our simulators, and could this just go on forever?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So is somebody real?
Yeah.
And that one real thing or person or whatever is controlling us?
Yep.
Or are they also simulated? And where did that simulation come from?
And then with
like
that one, and then that one. Yeah. So that's why I get it with space and everything. And sometimes I'm like, okay, yeah, people go out into space, but I'm all like, I just feel like there's more layers upon layers upon layers. And it's like, it may not be pretty. But then again, why could it not be pretty? Why is it's like, oops, really cool. Sorry.
What?
Trying to not knock with my rings and everything. No, it's, yeah. Who created the simulators if that's the case? And why do they get to be the simulators?
Yeah. Right? Or do we just have to work really hard? And maybe that's like the whole thing of like God and the Bible and stuff is you have to follow
maybe
all
we're
the
all
rules.
Slaves here.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
But for what? What are we trying to
do this,
accomplish?
to question it all.
That's our main purpose is to just
I don't
question.
know. Because even if we look at the lineage of like our ancestors and it's like, what were they doing? Like, do we have to evolve? Is that the whole purpose? So maybe we had to like start slow, evolve, and then auto destroy. Maybe that's the whole point of the game. It's like, let's create these humans and they go through their evolution process and things change and they think it's getting better, but it's actually getting worse. And then they're just working against themselves and against each other. And the whole purpose, so there's probably other simulators out there trying to help people like ourselves or others to be like, don't fall into that trap, because other people are trying to, let's make them auto-destroy and let's, have them hate these things and let's have them hate these other things. And at the end, it's just like the end result is like the goal for them is that planet Earth like explodes.
Oh God.
you know. And
Yeah.
those who made it out in a spaceship, they get to another level, level 17. Woohoo!
And now they get to be the simulators?
And then, no, they just get to go, they're level 17. They will consider like badasses. And then the people simulators like, haha, my little character made it to planet, poo-poo-doo-doo. And then now they're there and it's like, okay, they're going to start as, Neanderthals. And again, the goal is to how many planets can you explode? How many planets can you destroy?
Maybe that's the game.
Yeah.
And then it's like reincarnation. Like, you know how you die and just respawn?
Oh, yeah.
You just respawn as a bunch of different characters.
Yeah, well, like Mario. Yeah. Right? And he died and another little Mario just came.
Yeah.
You had like 3 lives unless you got plenty of coins.
Yeah. Or grab those little mushrooms.
Yeah. And got good with it. And see how many lives. So, poor Mario. So we're doing that to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just playing with it.
That's
what if Mario has feelings and Luigi has feelings?
How sad.
Maybe the movies that they're making about them are real.
Oh my gosh. It's awful. I hate that. I hate that idea so much.
No, like the Toy Story, toys have feelings.
Totally.
And then again, if we're looking into the matter responding differently when you look at it.
That's
true.
So
when we're not looking at it, are they even there or do they have their own lives?
That's so true.
So.
And also like same thing like with hauntings. Right? Like you could create your own haunting. Because if I'm right?
Yeah.
If I'm manipulating the simulation, I've just decided that object is haunted and that doll is possessed now.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't know.
Okay, we can really
We're
go
going off on it now.
Sorry.
So that kind of brings us to the next part, which is ethics. So as simulations contain conscious beings like you and I, what does that say about the morality of running simulations? Are we ethical test subjects?
Huh.
I mean, that kind of goes in line with like your slave theory.
Yeah.
Right? Like, are they just testing shit out to see like how we would treat each other? How we are like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so awful.
This is when like Jesus or God would come down and be like, you know what? We did enough testing. I think these kind of work for our different projects. Oh, here comes.
We'll take you 4, but you 6 have to go.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah. You're going to be, take this little pill. Yeah. It's going to make you strong. Strongly dead. Strongly powered down.
Powered down.
Crazy. This is creepy episode, actually. Now thinking about it.
Really weird. And then there's biological consciousness. So some scientists argue that the consciousness may be inherently biological and non-replicable in code, challenging the assumption that it could be simulated. So basically saying that like our emotions and our consciousness could not be replicated in computer code.
Okay.
So like robots could not become sentient.
That's the thing. I do feel like all this is a simulation to a certain extent. Maybe 65 to 70%, I think. But I do feel that I don't think our soul, and even if it's like, well, they're trying to make you believe that you have a soul. I don't know. There's something there. I don't think they can really replicate that.
Yeah.
That's why they haven't been able to necessarily replicate a baby in a tube, like grow an actual baby. Like they can to a certain extent, but
it has to be put in embryo or in like a host at some point.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it too. And like spiritually, simulation theory overlaps with many spiritual and mystical beliefs, which is kind of like along those lines of you can't really be totally like, robotic or whatever, because your soul is still your soul, right? Like even if this is a robotic body, you still have a soul in there, which can't be coded, can't be replicated, right?
But with a lot of people, it could.
Yeah.
Well, not replicated, but it can really take them where they don't feel they believe in strongly in who they are. Right. And they're the ones that struggle. We all have struggles, but they're the ones that, kind of go game out before.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So some, yeah, gosh, that is so creepy to think about. But okay, so some implications here or beliefs. So in Buddhism, the self is an illusion, and the world is a projection of the mind, which is kind of goes along with everything we've been talking about. And then there's the New Age thought that the idea of life as a dream or shared mental construct is widespread.
Yeah.
So it's like the universal consciousness kind of thing.
That's why I say like you have to wake up, like be awake.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's like Gnosticism, which is the material world is a false prison created by a demiurge.
Demiurge. What's that?
No, demiurge.
Oh,
Demiurge.
demiurge?
Yeah.
Like Demi Moore? Demiurge? Like that person?
No,
Oh, it's
a word.
okay, clearly I know that. I was like, Demiurge. Who is Demiurge? Okay.
I think it's, I don't know what that means. I'm pretty sure it's just, I'll have to Google what, let's just see if it'll, it's not going to let me highlight it right now.
Okay. Oh, don't worry. You don't have to.
I kind of want to know now. Okay. But anyways, that's kind of what I've got on simulation theory. You know, whether or not we live in a simulation or not, like,
Man.
it's still up to interpretation, but a lot of people believe that, sorry, I'm Googling that word because I want to know what it is.
I was like, Demiurge.
A craftsman or an artisan deity.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Interesting. Often under the guidance of a higher power.
Always comes back to the simulation.
Yeah, it always comes back to the little simulator. And there's like a weird picture of the, like a lion snake.
Let me see. What it says.
Well, it's
Demiurge. Demiurge. Oh, it's a snake with a lion's head.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
Interesting. Being a snake with.
Oh, I guess that's a god in the Bible.
Oh,
Whoops.
all right.
Oh, wait, no. That's a whole other thing. My bad. I don't know.
Nice.
But that's simulation theory at its finest.
That is crazy.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah. So I have thoughts.
Okay. Yes.
Well, I really like the idea of like being in a video game. But I also don't like the idea that like I'm being controlled by something else or somebody is choosing my life for me. And I do feel like having a strong meditation practice and just like everything in general, I just don't believe that's real. You know, I really do believe in free will and free choice. But I think there could be some truth to it. Like what we see is what we're perceiving is reality, and like, you know, whatever it was where it's like when you're not directly looking at it, it's not really there. Like I feel like that some of that stuff could be real, but I also think manifestation is real. But I don't believe that we don't have souls. I don't believe that we're just computer generated beings.
Absolutely. I don't believe in that either. I think we do have like our soul, our core value that is allowing us to go through life.
Yeah.
And make our own choices. And yes, but aren't we all being manipulated in a way per se that you start talking about something, you begin to see it. That's a form of manipulation. It's like, oh, I'm thinking of buying like you said, you know, a new car. Suddenly you're seeing that car everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you begin to get messages or emails and ads for whatever it is that you've been wanting, just to guide you into consuming more.
Yeah, totally.
Consumerism. So, okay, interesting.
Super interesting. Yeah.
Man,
well,
that was a really deep.
Yeah.
I feel like it could almost be an episode of its own.
Yeah,
just
I mean, it's
simulation
already been
theories.
almost an hour, so whoopsies.
Oh, yeah.
Oops.
All right. Well, maybe we'll do two things.
Yeah, that's probably safe.
Two theories. Okay.
So I went pretty hardcore into simulation theory, and I also did a bunch of research on flat Earth.
Oof. Okay.
And I went heavy into it, but I think that we should talk about your thing.
All right.
And then if we have time, because this is it's another long.
Remember everyone,
long
this is part 1 of part 17. Okay.
Yeah. We have a lot to talk about. With conspiracy
So this
theories.
is not too long, but I have a lot of questions.
Me too.
So I'm going to, so now if we're in a simulation, so they simulated us to go to the moon.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about the beliefs of the moon landings, especially the first one in 1969 of Apollo 11. So some people do believe this, that it was done to beat the Soviet Union in the space race. And we're always in a competition with the Soviets all the time. And I'm wondering, where did this start?
Yeah, and like why?
Yeah, exactly. So according to the theory, NASA filmed the landing on Earth, possibly in a secret studio, and presented it as real. So there are key claims made by believers, and then the reality, quote unquote. Okay. So one is, we all seen the super famous picture of like Neil Armstrong next to the flag. In the American flag, so the waving of the flag, it's like, okay, the American flag appears to wave even though there's no wind on the moon. So the reality, the flag moved because of how it was planted. There was a metal rod holding it out, and it shook during setup, then stopped moving. Also, I read something that said, well, it's all like crunched up, and that's why it looks like, how can it not? It had been, packed up for like 4 days. So again, could have been wind, but also I'm like, okay, if they are in a studio, I don't think there would be enough wind inside a studio to like move it. And they were saying that if it was filmed, that it would be inside like a secret studio. So I don't think they would be out in the woods doing this.
Well, and it's like,
but then
the anti-gravity of like how they had to move in that space. Like, wouldn't that alone, like your body mass move matter? I don't know.
So the other thing is, there's no stars in the photos, in the very first photos. The sky looks black.
Cameras.
I know. There are cameras
You know
from
how hard it is to take
1969.
pictures of stars?
I know.
Like now?
The sky looks black, but there are no stars in the background. Reality, the camera exposure was set for bright surfaces. I know.
I'm so smart.
The camera exposure
Thanks
was
for
set
listening, and don't
set
forget to
for
follow us
bright
on social
surfaces
media
like the
at
moon.
Witches Who
So
Podcast.
faint stars didn't show up, just like taking a photo at night with city lights, right? So
Yeah,
that's
that
like
makes
the
total sense to
reality
me.
of it. Yes. But also, I'm super curious so if this is like,
Let's just say, like, I think we went to the moon, but I don't think we went to the moon at that time.
yeah, so that's my thing too. And I was like, also, I think that maybe some pictures were produced in like somewhere else just to make like more of it.
Totally.
Like right now with the Webb telescope that, went out, which, yes, like Mike's friend, like, I was talking to him about it, and he's like, no, he was the one directing everything. So it's his friend's brother, like the director, who's an entire team and all that. So all these people invested time to send this telescope up there. And I'm not saying it's not doing this thing, but I'm like, are all the pictures that are coming back are all exact,
Yeah, they're not posting the good stuff on NASA's Instagram.
I know. Yeah, no, I feel that. So shadows at different angles. So there's a picture of Neil Armstrong there's like this rod, and it looks like at a different angle. So different directions, different angles. So shadows fall in different directions, suggesting multiple light sources like studio lights. Then, quote unquote, reality, the moon's uneven surface cause odd looking shadows, but they still follow natural light loss. Then identical backgrounds in different shots. Some photos from different locations seem to have the same hills. It says reality, the moon's landscape is wide and repetitive. It's easy to for distant hills to look the same from distant angles. No crater under lunar module. There's no blast crater where the lunar lander touched down. Then it's saying reality, the lander's descent engines were throttled down at the end. The moon's surface is firm, so no large crater was expected. So it's pretty funky. So let me just make sure that I have. But one of the things there is like, okay, so if technology wasn't as good as it is now, right? We did not have cell phones like we do now.
Yeah.
Back in 69. We did not have cameras. We did not have Zoom or, not even, something Scape. I'm just forgot the name of that older version. But what's it? Nixon did president at the time, I think. But he like spoke with them, so he had like a direct line and he's being filmed talking to them directly. I don't know. I'm no expert. We do communicate with people while they are out in space. So I was talking to my husband and he said there's some person who's like obsessed with looking at the moon, the fake moon landing, and that they saw also, I think Elon Musk sent some, to rescue the people that were stuck on the space station. And that like questioning that because this guy checks the trajectory of everything that goes out. I guess you can see this online. Like you can see when airplanes go out, like the trajectory of each airplane, like monitor, you can see it online. It's like public. And he saw the one for the space shuttle to launch from whatever Elon Musk place was. And it went out, or like it went really high, and then it took like a turn into the ocean, and then all these airplanes were like surrounding it, and then it turned around and landed back. But it created like
weird.
I don't know. There's so much to it that it's interesting. But apparently, so one of the astronauts, Buzz Edwin Aldrin, he had said that they never went.
Yeah,
he had claimed.
He's dead now, so we can't even ask him.
Oh man. Now, where's your Ouija board? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right. This is where we get the Ouija board out. We need to ask Buzz Aldrin if he actually went to the moon.
Yeah. So he apparently had said, and then there was a bunch of speculation of like, well, his word was always like, people said that he said certain things that he didn't say. But I don't know. Just when you look at the videos, it's like, okay, who's filming them?
That's true.
Like, I'm just like, okay, if that's the person who just got out first, how is this footage?
Yeah. Or is it just like a camera on the outside of their little rover or whatever?
So there's a lot of like, okay, what technology we have now versus technology we had then.
Yeah.
It's just like,
and if we could do it then, why don't we do it now?
I don't know. I'm telling you, there's something once you go up there, it's something funky. I was telling my husband because he's like, yeah, I'm not so sure the people that were up there, like quote unquote, stuck in the in the space. What is it called? The
International Space Station.
Yes, and I was like, well, they don't look good. Yeah, they looked like they've been under a rock for a long time.
That's true.
And I'm like, unless they decided that they will, do that for months and get paid big time, or I don't know, don't pay taxes for life or something.
Yeah.
I'm like,
why would you do that?
Yeah. So
like you lose all your muscle mass and everything.
Yes.
It's wild.
I know. So.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I don't know what I believe anymore.
I know it's hard with this, but I don't know. Me in space, I have, like, there's certain things that I can definitely believe, but there's some that I'm just like, I can't get on, like, I'm bored with it.
Yeah.
And when I see the things of NASA putting in from the Webb's telescope going out there, I'm like, yeah, some of them are really awesome, but all this you can literally just do yourself using AI.
That's
like
true.
Ask ChatGPT to recreate a NASA inspired with, atmosphere with certain colors and make it be as realistic as possible. It will look just like it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's just when they do it like, Valentine's Day, and they'll post the, a heart or
like a nebula, whatever.
Yes.
It's like, really?
I know. And I'm just like, no, I can't. This does not feel real.
Yeah. Agreed.
I get it. But yeah, I don't know. You tell us, people out there, what are your thoughts on
Yeah.
moon landing? Did it happen or did it not? Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I want to know. So I don't think we have time to jump into flat Earth at this point.
Yeah.
Because
That's going to be a good one.
we're a little.
But yeah, no,
over
that
our
simulation was incredible.
time. Sorry, I went a little hardcore.
No, that was so good though. I think it's necessary.
I just have so many questions still, like on simulation theory and the moon landing. Like it kind of connects together a little bit. Like,
So I have a question now. So if we're in let's say we're in a full on simulation, hardcore. So our simulator said, "Ooh, let's have these two girls be friends, and let's have them do a podcast together, just to mess with us,
Yeah.
or with life, or with something." It's like, why? Yeah. Why?
and it's also like if we really do have like creators or like simulator or whatever, why are they giving us the ability to question them?
Maybe we have cool ones.
You know,
Maybe they want us to free ourselves.
maybe they just are
We got
trying
the
to
cool ones.
push the boundaries of,
Yeah.
of trying to see like what can really happen. You know?
And maybe when we're getting really close, that's when you become like super Christian or like super
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
Because you know how people that are like super super spiritual, and then suddenly they push away all the
Yeah.
spirituality and just go to
Yeah, organized religion.
yeah.
That's super interesting.
Interesting.
I think I just moved right past that point. I'm like, nah, there's no way that's the answer.
Oh gosh, we should do a test and be like, hey, if we're in a simulation, TV, turn on now. Turn on the TV and tell me you're in a simulation. Watch it go on.
Oh my God, I'd freak out.
That would be crazy.
My poltergeist finally made an appearance.
See, you keep asking. Maybe they're just messing with you until finally something happens.
Yeah. I don't know.
well.
Interesting. Well, this was fun. And we definitely have to do 17 more parts of conspiracy theories because we only
Correct.
covered 2.
Yep.
So stay tuned.
Yes. The video here just keeps going in and out. I'm just an illusion, so she'll be the one in a
Because you move so much. It's like, what do I focus on?
I need to figure out this new setup.
I know.
All right, but please send us your spooky stories if you have any Wishes Who Podcast. No, not .com. Witches Who Podcast at gmail.com.
Yes.
We love that. And if you like to learn more about what we do and the workshops we hold, and I read oracle cards every week, as well as energy updates and upgrades and a lot of really fun stuff. Join our coven on Patreon. It's only $5 a month and you get a bunch of things, and we love to hang with you. But yeah, also send us any episodes that you want us to do and touch on. If they haven't unplugged us, we'll be here. But
The
otherwise,
simulators are
I know,
still being friendly.
be friendly, please. So thank you so very much. Stay tuned. No, tune in, stay curious. Oh my gosh. I am glitching now.
Tune like glitch in the Matrix.
Yes. Tune in, stay curious. Oh my gosh. Tune in, stay curious. Till next time. Okay. Besitos. Bye.
Peace.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to follow us on social media at Witches Who Podcast.